Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to change the character mesh in Survival Game Kit V2. You can only follow this video if your character uses the Unreal Engine 4 skeleton. If your character does not use the Unreal Engine 4 skeleton, I'll have a link in the description to the video that you will need to follow. If you're not sure which type of skeleton your character uses, you can always go to your character's skeleton. So for me, that's in this military character dark folder. Then open up the skeleton, and in here you'll find the skeleton structure. If it looks like this and all the names are laid out the same as this, then you're probably using the Unreal Engine 4 character skeleton. If your character skeleton does not look like this, you'll need to watch a video that I'll have linked in the description. If your character uses the Unreal Engine 5 skeleton, you'll need to watch the video linked in the description instead of this video. This video is for Unreal Engine 5 only. If you're using Unreal Engine 4, you'll need to check the description and I'll have a link to the video that you'll need to watch instead. And lastly, before we get started, I am going to be using a 3D modeling program so we can cut out our character's arms for the first person view. I'm going to be using 3ds Max, but you can use any 3D modeling program you like that you're comfortable with. So to get started, we're just going to close the skeleton. Now, again, because we're using a character that uses the Unreal Engine 4 skeleton, that's the same skeleton that the Survival Game Kit uses. So what we can do is just select the skeleton that came with our character. I'm going to select delete. Then for the replace references here, I'm going to click the arrow. I'm going to scroll through and find the UE4 mannequin skeleton and hover over it. You'll see that under path, it says Survival Game Kit meshes skeletal. That's how we know we're selecting the right skeleton. We'll click that and do replace references, then hit OK. Then hit save. And now, just like that, our new character is using the skeleton from Survival Game Kit, and it will be able to play all of our Survival Game Kit animations. Now we'll head over to our character blueprint, so we'll just search for character, we'll search for master character, and open up the SGK master character. And in here, we're going to go to the viewport. I'm going to select the mesh component here. And we're going to change the skeletal mesh to our new character's mesh. So I'm just going to scroll through and find mine, which is up here. I'm going to select the male version, and you can see that instantly it's playing our animations correctly. If when you do this, your character breaks or isn't playing the animations properly, your character probably doesn't use the Unreal Engine 4 skeleton. So you'll have to follow the video that's linked in the description that will show you how to retarget the animations. So next we'll also set our first person body. So we'll select first person body and we'll change that to our new character as well. So for me that was the male version. And then we're also going to cut out the character's arms. So to do that we're going to have to export our character and then edit it in a 3D modeling program. So to do that I'm just going to compile and save our character, close this out, and I'm going to right click on our character's skeletal mesh. This is our new character, and we're going to right click and go to Asset Actions, Export, and I'm just going to export to my desktop and save. And we'll get this little window pop up. I'm going to untick vertex color, level of detail and collision because we don't need any of those, and hit export. And now I'm just going to open up 3ds Max. So now I'm in 3ds Max. I'm just going to drag in the file that we just exported and drop it into the viewport. We'll click import file, and that should after a while bring in our character. I'm going to press S to turn on snapping, and I'm going to snap it to the center of the world like that. Now something that 3ds Max does, I don't know if other 3D modeling programs do this, is create an extra bone, which we don't want. If we import this into the engine, it will cause us all sorts of problems. So I'm going to select this bone here, and I'm just going to hit delete. And now you can see we've got our root bone, which is correct, and then we've got our character's mesh. Next, we're going to select the editable mesh modifier over here, and I'm going to click yes. Then I'm going to press 4 to go into the polygon selection mode, and we're just going to slowly delete parts of our character, leaving of course the arms for our first person view. So I'm just going to cut this out. You can obviously spend a little bit more time making sure that these are all clean, but that's enough for me. I'm happy with that. So I'm going to do Control A to select all the polygons left. Then we'll click the skin modifier, and that will make sure that our arms are still using the skin modifier. So once we've done that, we can just click away, do Control A to select everything, and we'll go to File, Export, Export Selected, and I'm going to export mine to the desktop. I'm just going to call this first person mesh, like that. Hit OK or hit save. And make sure you have smoothing groups ticked on. I'm going to tick off animation, so make sure that's ticked off. Hit OK, and you might get a warning here, you might not. Don't worry about it, just hit OK. Now we're going to head back to Unreal Engine, so I'm going to close 3ds Max and head over there. So now we're back in Unreal Engine. We're going to select our content browser here. I'm just going to go to the folder with all my new character meshes. We'll go to import and I'll go to desktop and I'm going to import our first person mesh. Hit open and it's going to bring up this window. It's going to ask for a skeleton. We need to set a skeleton here and this is going to be our UE4 mannequin skeleton. So we'll select that. We want to leave all of this ticked on. Now, I'm not going to create materials because we're just going to reuse our third person materials. So I'm just going to tell it to do not create materials, and I'm not going to have import textures on either. We'll do import all. You can see that we've got our first person character arms here. If your arms didn't automatically pick up their material, you can set it over here. You should just be able to set it to your full body material and it will set it all correctly. So now we can head over to our character blueprint again. So again, SGK master character. And in here, go to the viewport. We'll select the arms, the first person arms component, and we'll change the skeletal mesh to our new first person mesh. So I'll just search for first person, select that, and you can see that our arms are playing its animations correctly. So now we'll just compile and save this blueprint. And now we can test this out. So we'll close the character blueprint here. I'm going to hit play. You'll see that our character's animations are playing correctly as they were with our mannequin, and that's because we're using the same skeleton, so all of the animations are not affected. We can pick up guns, so I can hold the M4 here. You can see our animations are playing correctly. We can zoom in and out. By going to first person, you can see we're holding our gun fine. We might need to make a few small adjustments. You can see my left hand there might need a bit of adjusting. So to do that, for the M4 in particular, we can hit F8 to eject the game. So I've got my mouse controls here. And I'm just going to search for sk_m4a4, and that will bring up the skeleton for our M4. We'll just open that up. You can see my window's already quite small, but we'll move it down here so we can see the game and we can see the window. And in here, we're going to go to skeleton tree. We want to find the left-hand socket. And if we select it and press W, we can actually move that socket around, and in-game, in real time, it will actually update. So you can use this to position your left hand on certain weapons. So now we've set that position, we can just save our M4 skeleton, close that out, and we can play in-game again. So I'm just going to click the little icon up here, and now you can see in-game we've updated the left-hand socket location, and it's actually changed our weapon's hand position. So we're pretty much done with changing our character mesh. If you ever want to change any of the animations that your character is using, for unarmed, when your character doesn't hold any item, you'll go to animations, and then in here we've got the animation blueprints, so you can set the animation, say for the third person character. If we just bring this up here, we can go to class defaults, and in here we'll just scroll down and find our animations. You can see we've got our jump animations, we've got our upper body and lower body animations, and we've also got our turn in place, and that's the same for the first person and third person animation blueprints here as well. And if you want to change your weapons holdable animations, you just need to go to the blueprints folder, then to items, holdable items, and in here you can open up any holdable item, like the axe for example, and you can change its animations in the class defaults. You can see here we've got our turn in place animations and all of our third person and first person animations in here as well. So that's going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. Thanks.